In this video, we got another episode of the Start Bench Cut series. If you guys don't know what this is, basically, you guys will let me know on Twitter at x7tanaka when I put out a tweet saying, let me know 3 players in their replies for a Start Bench Cut video. You guys will obviously in the replies let me know 3 different players, and I'll tell you guys, which player I'd start, which player I'd bench, and then which player I would cut. So for example, right here, Flo said James Harden, Ben Simmons, and Magic Johnson, and I'll have to say, which out of these 3 point guards I would start on my team, and then put on the bench, and then obviously cut. So let me know also in the YouTube comment section down below. Let me know 3 different players you guys want to see me do a start bench cut with, so it can be like any position in the game or just any cards in the game. Let me know in the YouTube comment section down below, and I'll tell you guys who I would start, who I would bench, and then who I would cut. But let's get right here into the video. First 3 players here are going to be from Rye Guy. He says Chet, AD, and Karl Malone. I think for this one, it's definitely going to be cutting Anthony Davis. Just really not on the same level as guys like Chet and Karl Malone. And then when it comes down to Karl Malone and Chet, I think that's a very close debate, even though it might seem a little bit crazy, but I think Karl Malone is a really, really good power forward. I would honestly, I know it might seem crazy to say, I'm very close to starting Karl Malone, but I'll start Chet, bench Karl Malone, and then cut Anthony Davis. I think Chet still has that size and obviously a height advantage over a guy like Malone, but honestly, you could make the argument for Karl Malone being better than a guy like Chet. But for that one, like I said, I'll start Chet, bench Karl Malone, and then cut Anthony Davis. Next one here, also from Rye Guy, he's gonna say Pippen, Melo, Ray, and Dr. J. So he's giving me 4 different shooting guards. For me, this one, I mean, you pretty much got, 4 of the better shooting guards in the game. I would start Ray Allen. Now, I will talk about it probably more in depth later in the video, because I'm sure, somebody will ask for Ray Allen, Scottie Pippen, and Vince Carter. But I do think Ray Allen is better than a guy like Pippen. I'll say this right now, though. We're going to be cutting Carmelo Anthony and starting we're going to be cutting Carmelo Anthony, and then I guess cutting Dr. J as well. For the start and bench, it's just going to be between Ray Allen and Scottie Pippen, just deciding who I would start and then who I would bench. I mean, honestly, comparing the two, Pippen is going to be the much better defender. Obviously, stats and badges wise and height and wingspan, he is going to be the way better defender at the shooting guard spot. But offensively, on the flip side, Ray Allen is a lot better offensively than a guy like Scottie Pippen. And it's not really necessarily in the stats, it's when you go to the animations. You can see they both have the MJ dribble style, they both have the Kobe Bryant escape, right? So you might think, oh, well, that's pretty fair, there's not that much of a difference. But one of the biggest difference in the dribble sigs comes down to the size up, and Ray Allen has the Steve Francis size up, which if you guys don't know is probably the best size up in the game right now, where Scottie Pippen only has Jimmy Butler. So movement wise, Ray Allen is going to be a lot better, and he's also got his jump shot on very quick compared to Scottie Pippen only having his jump shot on quick. So they definitely are very close and very comparable, and I think it really just comes down to what you need from your shooting guard. If you want more defense, more height, more wingspan, and a guy that's going to give you some lockdown defense, then you go with a guy like Scottie Pippen. But maybe next to a Ben Simmons or Magic Johnson, and you want more offense at the shooting guard spot, a guy that can be your main ball handler, that's when you go to a guy like Ray Allen. So that's the way I kind of look at the Ray Allen and Scottie Pippen debate, of who's a better shooting guard. Let me know also who you guys do think is better at the shooting guard spot. But for me personally, I would start Ray Allen, bench Scottie Pippen, and then I'll just say cut Dr. J, because I do think he's probably a little bit better than Carmelo Anthony. Next one here is going to be from Cad. He says Dirk, Yee, and Zion. Obviously going to be cutting Zion at the power forward spot. He's just too small, only being 6'7", and is just way better at small forward. Between Dirk and Yee, I think it's a really close debate. I still think Dirk is a little bit better though, so I would say start Dirk, bench Yee, and then cut Zion. Next one is going to be Ben McLemore, Sam. Okay, that's definitely a troll one. Next one from power forward here is going to be from Corey. He says Amari Stoudemire, AK-47, and the Olowokandi guy. Honestly, I think this is a pretty close debate at the power forward spot between Olowokandi and Amari Stoudemire. AK-47, once again, I think is just a lot better at small forward, kind of like a guy like Zion Williamson. He's not too small to play the small forward spot, but I just think, these guys are a little bit better at power forward. So for me, I think Olowokandi is a better center than he is power forward, so I would start Amari Stoudemire. He is actually a very underrated 4 in the game right now. He is super elite. Being 6'10" at the power forward spot, he's really nice on the offensive end. Might leave a little bit to be desired on the defensive side of the ball, but offensively, the card's got his jump shot on very quick timing. He's got some amazing dribble sigs for a power forward. I think honestly, I'm gonna start Amari Stoudemire, bench Olowokandi, and then cut AK-47. Next one here also going to be from Corey. He's going to say Pippen, Vince, and Carmelo. pretty much already did that one. It's very similar between Vince and Pippen. I think if you need more offense, you go for a guy like Vince, and if you want more defense, you go with a guy like Scottie Pippen. But I do think overall Pippen is probably the little bit better shooting guard than Vince, so I would start Pippen, bench Vince, and then cut Carmelo Anthony. Next one here is gonna be from Flo. These are easily the 3 best point guards in the game in my opinion: James Harden, Ben Simmons, and Magic Johnson. For me, I think the debate for the best point guard in the game just really comes down to Ben Simmons and Magic Johnson. Now, unfortunately, as much as I like James Harden and think he's such a fun card to use, if we're talking about in a comp setting or a guy that you want to have on your court to win as many games as possible, I do think these are the 2 best point guards. Fortunately for these 3 point guards, I'm gonna have to cut James Harden, and then like I said, it's gonna be between Ben Simmons and Magic Johnson. So Ben's gonna have a little bit of the height advantage, being 6'11", compared to Magic only being 6'9", but honestly don't think that's gonna be a massive difference. Stats wise, very close as well. I mean, I will say Magic does have a way higher 3-ball, having a plus 25 3-ball with an 88. So I would say 3-ball wise, Magic definitely gonna be better, but I would say Ben is probably better on the defensive side of things. And then you look at the badges, for example. I think Magic's a lot better playmaking wise, and Ben Simmons a lot better defensive wise. So Ben Simmons is the better defender than Magic Johnson, but I do think Magic, you know, having like these Hall of Fame hyperdrive killer combos, you know, unpluckable, I think he'll probably handles for days. I think he'll probably be a little bit better, you know, on the playmaking side of thing, and he's also got more gold shooting badges, and I think can hold more of them as well. So for me, I think badges wise probably goes to Magic Johnson slightly. And then this is where the big difference is for me, at least. Jump shot wise, not exactly sure whose release is better. I'd probably say Ben has a better release, but Magic has a higher 3-ball. So that one's a little bit interesting for who's actually the better 3-point shooter. But once again, just like Ray Allen, Magic Johnson has that Steve Francis size up, and that makes a massive difference to the point guard spot. And he also has that Dame behind the back, which is probably, and especially his behind the back, he does it so well that it's probably one of the best show moves in transition and to create some space while you're running on the break. So for me, I do think Magic Johnson is the best point guard in the game. Let me know in the comment section down below who you guys think is the best point guard between Magic Johnson and Ben Simmons. For me, I slightly think Magic is a little bit better. So for these 3, I would start Magic Johnson, bench Ben Simmons, and then cut James Harden. But those are legit the 3 best point guards in the game. Next one here is going to be Anthony Davis, Bob, and Karl Malone. Once again, a very close one. I would cut Anthony Davis. I just don't think he's on the same level as guys like Bob Nedelecki and Karl Malone, but I would say between Karl and Bob, it's a really close one because Bob is a lot better on the offensive end, having a better jump shot, but then I would say Malone is a better defender. And this might be a little bit crazy to say. I'm gonna say start Karl Malone, bench Bob Nedelecki, and cut Anthony Davis. I think Malone might actually be a little bit better than Bob Nedelecki. Next one from Y again here is gonna be Dennis Johnson, SGA, and Don Ole. All very close at the point guard position. I would say for me though, it's pretty easy. I would start Don Ole, bench Dennis Johnson, and then cut SGA. I just haven't really liked using this SGA card recently. He's not an amazing defender, and he's not even that great on the offensive end. So I'd start Don Ole, bench Dennis Johnson, and then cut SGA. Next one is going to be Dr. J, Kobe, and Wiggins at the 2. For me, this one is also pretty easy. Dr. J and Wiggins is a very close debate, and you could make the argument that Wiggins is better than Dr. J, but for me, I would start Dr. J, bench Andrew Wiggins, and then cut Kobe Bryant. When Kobe gets his Galaxy Opal card, he probably will be better than Dr. J and Wiggins, but for right now, when he has that pink diamond, I do think Wiggins and Dr. J are going to just be a little bit better. Next one is going to be Ray, Pippen, Carmelo. I think I already did this one. It's going to be start Ray Allen, bench Scottie Pippen, and then cut Carmelo Anthony. Next one is going to be Dirk, Yee, and Pau Gasol at the 4. This one actually might be a little interesting. I think Dirk is definitely going to be starting because I think he's better than Yee at the 4, but between Pau Gasol and Yee, I think that could be somewhat of a close debate. I would say Pau is probably a little bit better at the center spot. So for this one, I would probably say start Dirk, bench Yee, and then cut Pau Gasol. Next one at the shooting guard spot is going to be another 4 players, I should say. Harden, Ray Allen, Dr. J, and Wiggins at the shooting guard spot. That's a little bit interesting because Harden isn't a primary shooting guard, but I would say if you're counting him as a shooting guard, then I guess you'd probably bench him after Ray Allen because Ray Allen is the best shooting guard in the game in my opinion. So I'd start Ray Allen, and then I guess I would bench James Harden and cut Wiggins. J.R. Smith isn't even on the same level as these other 3 shooting guards, so I guess that's the way I would do it. But honestly, I would just start James Harden at the point guard spot or play him at the point guard position. I do think he might be a better card than Ray. I think Ray is probably the better card, but that could be a debate of who's exactly the better card. But I would start Ray Allen at the shooting guard spot, and then I guess bench James Harden and cut Andrew Wiggins, and then cut J.R. Smith as well. But for me, I'd probably just, play Harden at point guard, and if we're not cutting Harden, then I would go start Ray Allen, bench Andrew Wiggins, and cut J.R. Smith. Next one is going to be Vince Carter, Scottie Pippen, and Terry Dischinger. As much as I like Terry Dischinger and think he's a really good shooting guard, I just think Vince and Scottie are a little bit better. So once again, I would start Scottie Pippen, bench Vince Carter, and then cut Terry Dischinger. Let me see if there's any like interesting ones. This one's actually kind of a little bit interesting between Olowokandi, D-Rob, and Kareem. I would cut Kareem. I think his jump shot and his three ball is a little bit questionable, where if you compare him to guys like D-Rob and Olowokandi, they have much better jump shots and are about the same on the defensive end. But comparing Olowokandi to D-Rob, this is a very close debate at the center position, and I think it's honestly not that crazy to say Olowokandi could be better at the center spot because they're both around the same height and same wingspan. D-Rob a little bit taller and a little bit longer wingspan. Three ball wise, obviously going to be plus 17 to D-Rob, and it looks to be a little bit better on the defensive end, but honestly stats wise, not too much of a difference. I think it really just comes down to the animations and kind of which jump shot you prefer. Also, Olowokandi can move a lot better than D-Rob. He's got the MJ dribble style and the Kobe escape, and then badges wise, their badge count very similar. I mean, D-Rob does have a lot more gold badges, so I would say for me, I'm still gonna stick with David Robinson, you know, having more gold shooting badges, and I think does have, in my opinion, the better jump shot. I think Olowokandi is definitely arguably having the better jump shot, but for me, I would start D-Rob, bench Olowokandi, and then cut Kareem. I'm just gonna kind of speed through these next couple ones just to kind of, you know, go through them. I mean, obviously the Harden, Ben, and Magic, we know it's Magic, Ben, and then Harden. Next one is Ray Allen, Terry Dischinger, and Pippen. Start Ray, bench Pippen, cut Terry Dischinger. Kevin Love, Marc Gasol, and Giannis. I'm assuming this is at power forward. Power forward, I would start Giannis, bench Marc Gasol, and then cut Kevin Love. Scottie, Terry, and Wiggins, basically in order. I do think it's gonna be Scottie Pippen starting, Terry Dischinger on the bench, and then Andrew Wiggins at the Andrew Wiggins getting cut. This one is actually very interesting. Yee, Stoudemire, and Karl Malone, because it's definitely gonna be starting Yee, but after that, who I'd want to bench between Karl Malone and Stoudemire is a very close debate. I'm gonna say Karl Malone might be a little bit better than Stoudemire because of the defense. I think Stoudemire is probably the better offensive card, but I would bench Karl Malone and then cut Stoudemire. Klay Thompson, Ray Allen, and Dr. J at the 2 spot. I would start Ray Allen, bench Dr. J, and then cut Klay Thompson. I think Klay is a really fun shooting guard to use, but really not going to be too great in the comp setting or just like, you know, for actually winning unlimited games, but he is super fun to use and can be very effective. And then last two here is going to be Lonzo Ball, Tyreke Evans, and Dinwiddie. Haven't used Dinwiddie too much, but I would probably start Tyreke Evans, bench Spencer Dinwiddie, and then cut Lonzo Ball. I don't think this Lonzo card is really that great. I think once he gets his Opal card, he could be very elite though. And then last one here is gonna be Pink Diamond, Karl Malone, Galaxy Dirk, and Galaxy KG. KG still the best power forward in my opinion, so I'd start KG, bench Dirk, and then cut Karl Malone. So let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said though, guys, 3 different players. I'll tell you guys which player I'd start, which player I'd cut, and then which player I'd start, which player I'd bench, and then which player I'd cut. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.